Hamlet would like for you to meet Raymond St Jacques, star of both screen and stage, and he's going to be in the American Film Theater production of Lost in the Stars. Fans in Louisville will be seeing you. Welcome to the show. I recently had an interview with Richard Roundtree, and I was asking him what he thought of Sounder as far as the black movies are concerned, and he said he wouldn't go see Sounder, that he learned all about what was in Sounder from his grandfather and his grandmother. And I let that slide. Now I wish I had a chance to pursue the subject with him. What would your feeling be about?
Well, just as a cinematic experience, as an artist, I think that, I would go see Sounder and have gone to see Sounder, and Sounder was a very fine picture. It was made very nicely. Marvelous performances. Now, the political and social aspect of Sounder, it is something else again. Why are we talking about Sounder? We were talking about Lost in the Stars.
I want to get your viewpoints on that, then we'll come back to Lost in the Stars. The fact that I know you're just tired of this whole subject of black movies.
Let me get back to Sounder. Like someone said, I said, well, someone said, well, the film's a big success. I said, yes, it is a big success. I said, it's a white movie. And they looked at me and said, what do you mean it's a white movie? And I said, well, because it's primarily white audiences that are going to see the picture. And it's because, at least myself, I certainly can't speak for all blacks, but I certainly can speak for myself, that as I watched the picture, I felt that they were too docile. We all know about cotton chopping, and Richard is right about that. But at the same time, I think that this aspect of black Americana most certainly should be projected on the screen, because it certainly is an integral part of the growth of America, good or bad. But what was lacking was a certain kind of militancy that existed amongst black peoples during that period. No, they certainly couldn't be militant as they are today, no. But amongst themselves, there were attitudes, there were a way that they did things. I felt that was sadly lacking in the picture.
Do you have a difficult time trying to get this idea across to many young blacks that feel that they all were very docile, that there was no reaction or resentment? They seem to think that nothing was done until now with
No. If you sit down and
you can get through to them?
Present to young people, whoever they are, in a logical, because the young people are going to ask you, well, why? Why? As long as you can give them the answer and they finally stop asking why, then I welcome it, because they really make you smart. Mm-hmm. But specifically, yes, you get to the sisters and brothers, you just explain to them.
Another thing that sometimes blacks have a problem with is once you reach a certain level of success is to really being accepted, or to have the blacks identify with you, that they want to put you on a different plane. Well, who does he think, or who does she think he is? Do you have more difficulty really relating on a one-to-one basis with blacks?
Because despite the kind of aura that I may project, I'm just the opposite. And
I mean, take for instance somebody like James Brown. Well, now he's got a following that would perhaps be somewhat different from those that would follow.
Needless to say. Mm-hmm.
Don't want to pursue that.
No.
All right, let's talk about Lost in the Stars. Are you pleased with it, and what do you think about the whole concept of
Well, I'm extremely pleased with it, because I think everyone likes to be involved. That whole competitive thing in America, we all want to be involved with the winner. And without even seeing a foot of this thing, it's the first time I've ever stuck my neck out about anything I've been involved in, really. I feel there's a whole aura about this project that it smacks of success. Not just of commercial success, but a kind of success that I'm really concerned with. The success that this project will be an innovation in bringing about a change in films in America. What kind of innovation? A departure from the blaxploitation, the sexploitation. What is that man doing now?
I don't know what he's doing.
Blaxploitation and Eskimo-exploitation, anything. And now we have some films coming along that's going to reach a different audience, and hopefully will bring the other audience being those who are involved in the blaxploitation pictures.
Do you expect this type film to reach more of the black audience?
I expect it, and hope, and really with the kind of campaign that the American Film Theater is doing, I cannot believe that it won't be but a success, reaching all audiences, all levels.
Reading some bio on you, and it was a funny incident that happened with the play High Name Today.
Yeah.
Want to tell us about that? The way you have had to push it.
It was very true, though, because this play High Name Today was a play off Broadway in 1954, and I had just come. It was after the Korean War, and they were casting for soldiers to participate in this drama about the Korean War. And the lady, she sat there and she smiled. She said, "But there's nothing in for you, darling." And I said, "Well, madam, there are, there were black soldiers." And the director, George England, he said, "Oh, yes, that's right. There were black soldiers, as a matter of fact. No, there were colored soldiers. If you didn't say black, if you call somebody black, then they say, 'What did you say to me, man?' I'll hit you in the mouth." Yes. And if you call them, Negroes now, they tell the man will hit you in the mouth. And if you say, "But then, you don't know what you say." Well, that black color, I get a little confused myself. Anyway, George England, he said, "Yes, as a matter of fact, we should use him." And that's how it happened. It was very funny. But I mean, you're talking about having problems trying to get started. I walk in the office when they say, "Well, no, you're not colored enough, or you're not Negroid enough." So if you didn't walk in looking like that, I can't say it on the air, my dear.
Okay. What about the films that are being produced by the American Film Theater? Now, there are no blacks in any of the others. It's all in this one production of Lost in the Stars. Do you think there should have been more integrated roles in the other plays?
Well, I don't think that they tried to approach it, in trying to adapt the screen production.
First of all, just the whole concept.
They tried to adapt the stage productions to the screen, so they probably approached it realistically from the way that they were done. And I'm quite sure that there are blacks in other films. Isn't there no blacks in the other films? They certainly are. What about in, Rhinoceros? Where is somebody?
To stand up for what?
What's his name in the Rhinoceros?
Somebody?
Oh, gee,
well, I'll take your word for it, Raymond. Do you think there are more openings now in drama? And we were talking earlier about the all-black companies, and you feel strongly that this is a way to get the training and to get the experience. But do you see more roles in integrated areas opening up?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the, as bad as the blaxploitation pictures have been, on the other side of the coin, they certainly have created more employment and made some inroads for blacks, because in doing these pictures, the blacks themselves have demanded, well, we're going to do blaxploitation pictures, at least let's have some black members of crews and so forth. And we know how those crews are. And
they keep moving chairs. What's your background like? Tell me a little bit about life in Connecticut, because
it's pretty sordid, but
well, that's where you were born, in Connecticut.
Right, in Connecticut. You don't want to talk about. Let's talk about this.
Well, what do you think about the women's liberation movement, or women in general? Don't want to talk about that?
Why don't we talk about the pictures, not Lost in the Stars?
All right, go ahead.
I think that, one of the, seriously speaking, the reason why I'm being, because I know we have a short period of time, and I really want to get in, not so much a plug, but something that's really important. And I think that black people who are aware of or know something about Lost in the Stars, and they might say, well, the picture is that's outdated, and I don't know if it really relates to what's going on. Well, I just want to say right here now that the picture is very relevant to what is going on in America today, because we see the enslavement and the disenfranchisement of black peoples, and we've had the same thing here, so I think that we will readily identify with it and at the same time learn a great deal about our brothers and sisters about the world and give us a greater empathy and understanding, not only for black people, but whites themselves will look at this. Because what goes on in South Africa makes Mississippi look like a tea party. As a matter of fact, I had to go down and take Governor Wallace home for dinner because you have no idea the abuse that exists there in South Africa. I mean, if you are relieving yourself in a restroom, and if you do not have your passbook on you, which is this big, they will come and take you away.
What's it like working with Melba Moore?
A lot of fun, because she's a
seems
wonderful.
dynamic.
You hear that woman singing, I said, well, Raymond, there goes your thing. You got it, Melba. Hit it.
And no way to compete.
It's like trying to work with kids and animals. The mothers never sit in the audience and say, oh, look at that. You're acting yourself. Crazy nothing.
Well, I want to know a little bit about the theater that you have, the Mafundi Experimental Film Laboratory.
Well, first of all, that's not my theater. It's that Mafundi rose out of the Watts fire.
You take an active part in it,
I was asked to come and teach there, as well as Raymond Burr and particularly one woman I'd like to mention, Madge Champion, the wife of Gower Champion, and under great strain and pressure and distrust from the black community, she has been heroic in giving up her time.
Are you still teaching there?
No, I'm not. I've been too busy and I had to go away.
Was that an interesting experience for you?
Yes.
Was there much hostility toward you at first?
No, the black community, there's never been hostile toward me. They would kind of look at those big cars of mine sitting out there and kind of wonder about that. Well, one did get angry one day. I saw him walking up and down on my brand new Maserati. I just picked up a 2x4 and went out there and had a talk with
I
him.
don't believe that, Raymond.
I had to get his attention there for a minute.
That's the way you have to do it sometimes.
Right.
Thank you so much for talking with us on Omelet.
Okay.